I'm Ian Rayner, Program Specialist with Green Australia. Over the last few years I've been helping manage the Wollondilly project along the Wingecarribee River. Towards the end of October we had a community planting day and a series of bird walks on the Wingecarribee River, where all the partner organisations who've been involved in the program since its inception back in 2016 got together and celebrated with a broad range of community members the work that had been done. So getting in there with that group of community members and volunteers and being able to replant there with more than 1,000 new seedlings along that more than kilometre will really help stabilise the riverbanks, hopefully improve the quality of water flowing into that section. It'll shade the river, which is important for the summer months. That section of the river is a missing link in work that's been previously done, work by Oxley College and others on both the other side of the river there and downstream. Council's also done work on the other side of the river there, but where we were working is an area that hadn't been completed, and it provides really great linkage habitat between there and some more remnant vegetation upstream, and then further revegetation work we've been doing with private landholders upstream as well. We've had lots of highlights through that project. It's been a very collaborative project, so the highlights are shared amongst a whole range of different groups and stakeholders, individuals, landholders. Lots of different people have contributed to the great work that's happened. Personally, some of my highlights have been some of the successes with our habitat creation work. We've been doing some artificial cut-in hollows with all-scale trees on council land. We've been able to use some dead trees and create new hollows for animals that require that for their habitat, for their breeding, for their protection. Some of the animals we've been aiming to assist there are microbats, gliders, and possibly some of those smaller marsupials as well as the bats. Seeing the cut-in hollows being created and then being used by those native animals really quickly actually after they've been constructed, that's been a great win. The other highlights have been some of the sections of river which used to be completely choked with weeds. I was able to go with some other people from the project and paddle down through those sections where now the river can run freer and hydrology is more akin to what it may once have been, and seeing some of those areas are now being revegetated after we've removed some of the exotic species. Seeing those trees have now grown up since 2017, 2018, and so they're now getting to be big trees. That's always a wonderful thing to go and stand under something that was planted by volunteers. There are populations of platypus in the Wingecarribee, some really good populations of platypus still, and they've been spotted just downstream of there with the habitat that will be created through the revegetation work. We should see the platypus moving back into that section. The funding for the program came from the New South Wales Government's Environmental Trust, where they provided through a Bush Connect program funding for this and a whole range of other connectivity projects across New South Wales, where it wouldn't have been able to do this work without their help and support. And if people do want to find out more about what's been done and what is still happening along the river through this program and series of projects, people can jump on and search for Wall to Wollondilly on the Greening Australia website. There's a little bit of information there, but that'll also help you link through to a story map that has been put together by Wingecarribee Shire Council, who have consolidated both why we're doing what we're doing, why rivers are important, why this particular river is important, and also the work that's happened there and some of the benefits that we're already seeing from that through some of the conservation restoration work along the river.